Woody Varner, Oakland University's first chancellor, liked to say he was a gardener. He mused, "I like to grow things, and the university was a great thing to grow. Our growth as a university has been the result of the vision and hard work of many." J. Robert Swenson, chair of what was then the new Oakland County Planning Commission, anticipated the post-war boom in higher education enrollment and growth of Oakland County. He thought that Meadowbrook Farms would be the ideal location for a college. Through the generosity of Matilda and Alfred Wilson, owners of the estate, Oakland became a satellite of Michigan State University. Leaders and staff from MSU played a key role, including MSU President John Hanna and MSU Vice President Woody Varner, who volunteered to lead the new campus. Woody's assistant, Najee Reynolds, left East Lansing to work alongside him. At the time, she described the no-frills hinterlands of Oakland County and braving the dust, noise, and water shutoffs to support the first chancellor in creating a campus out of farmland. Oakland owes its existence to the vision and dedication of these visionaries, these changemakers, and many other unsung changemakers. Laid out the campus, erected the first building, hired 24 faculty, designed the curriculum, recruited students, and in fall 1959, Oakland opened its doors. In its first decade, Oakland thrived, growing from 570 students to more than 7,000. And soon, Oakland did not just grow, it grew up. It made the transition from a small liberal arts college to a regional university. In 1966, the trustees adopted a new model of an expanded curriculum and doctoral programs, professional degrees, and stronger public and community activities and engagement. By its 25th anniversary in 1984, Oakland University had come of age. President Champagne declared, "The wind continues to thrust the OU sail onward in pursuit of excellence, regardless of rough seas and the uncertainty of uncharted waters that lie ahead." The rough seas metaphor was a reference to the difficult economic times of the day: fiscal austerity, high gas prices, inflation, and unemployment. Yet, despite the grim economic outlook, Oakland University did remarkably well. Construction began again on campus. Research from OU's faculty was recognized internationally. Oakland expanded partnerships with local businesses and became more deeply engaged in our communities. From the founding of the university, through periods of difficult transitions to eras of growth, Oakland has navigated the rough winds and has adapted, grown, and found ways to innovate. The force behind Oakland's success has been its remarkable and impressive list of changemakers. These are the people with vision and the courage to implement it. These are the people who are inspired with an ambition to achieve the common good. These are the people who collaborate, build teamwork, and nurture a sense of community. In many ways, what makes us distinct is the compassion and confidence to take on challenges. That can-do spirit is embodied in Matilda Wilson, who would wait at the classroom doors to hand out apples to students. And that OU spirit is described by the university's first historian, George Matthews, who, upon the university's silver anniversary, marveled at the self-confident energy which sustains the institution. And now, meet some of today's changemakers.
You know, what I see in the changemakers on our campus, they have a lot of similar characteristics, tendencies, and personality traits, and they're good team members. They pull for each other. They help our students, they help our faculty, they help our staff, and it's just a pleasure when you're around a changemaker.
I'm a changemaker because I've been empowered to do so by those in and around the Oakland University community. I'm a changemaker because I believe in just empowering our students to reach their overall success in getting to that point where they feel like they are accomplished. I'm a changemaker because it was just naturally given to me to go out and serve individuals and serve people.
I'm a changemaker because I understand that all individuals have a unique lived experience that informs their perspective on life, and that isn't right or wrong, it's just different. Sometimes people think different has a negative connotation, and I think different is a learning experience.
I'm studying elementary education with the goal of teaching early elementary students. My primary focus is social justice. What I hope to accomplish is inspiring a next generation of students to use their voice and to know that they have the power to enact the change that they want to see.
As a Native American woman, I've always been really interested in doing something that can benefit my community, and with research I can do that, and in the lab that I was in I could do that. So my advisor was very open to me researching the things that I wanted to research.
So next semester I begin my student teaching, and then what I want to do is when I become a teacher, I want to have a huge focus in classrooms on social studies and representing all students and bringing that into literacy and just having like a cross-curricular approach to everything. I see teaching as a calling because it's not just for anyone. Like, you have to be in the moment, and just when you're there and in front of a group of students, you just have this feeling of this feels right, this is where I'm supposed to be, and this is where I can have the greatest impact.
Oakland has been able to grow by adding curriculum At one time, we did not have a nursing school or a school of health sciences. What is now the School of Business Administration, I believe, at one time it was an economics department within the College of Arts and Sciences, so it's become its own school. And in this current year, the amount of construction, the great expansion of Wilson Hall, for example, the expansion of South Foundation Hall, so many things are coming along that are really valuable to not only maintaining the quality of Oakland University, but also to expand opportunities for students, faculty, and staff.
When I came to Oakland, we had just wrapped up our Bachelor of Physical Therapy program. Knowing we had to go to a graduate degree program, it became the Master of Physical Therapy program, and I became the director. So I think my role in helping to get that off the ground and to get the Doctor of Physical Therapy program was important, as well as our Doctor of Science in Physical Therapy, which was a program to prepare physical therapists as researchers and academics. That has been a significant program. Over the past 17 years, we've graduated 27 Doctor of Science in Physical Therapists, faculty members who are now at all of the universities who offer physical therapy programs in Michigan.
Facilities is responsible for our home here. So whatever we have to do to make it, as clean and as inviting to the students and families that visit the campus. And the grounds is the same way. The visual impact of the grounds. You don't get a second chance to make a first impression, I tell my grounds crew. So I want to be able to drive through here with my grandkids and say, I was involved in that. It's just something that drives me.
Welcome to the annual State of the University Address. I want to thank the very talented Oakland University Chorale by Professor Michael Mitchell. Let's give them a round of applause. I also want to thank Yang Yang, a music major, for her beautiful performance as you were coming in before we began to gather. Let's also give her a round of applause. And thank you, Dominique, for reminding us of our history and how it is so relevant every single day. Thank you. I also want to thank Bobby Shostak, chair of our Oakland University Board of Trustees, and also to thank Trustee David Kramer, who's here with us today. Thank our trustees. Well, I'd like to take a moment now to recall that a year ago today, our hearts were broken by the shooting at Oxford High School. Today and every day, we keep the people of the Oxford community in our hearts, and we stand alongside them as we walk together on the path toward healing. As we gather at the State of the University Address, we look to our history for insight into the present and to illuminate the path toward our future. Indeed, history is written by changemakers. We have just heard from several changemakers, and a little later, we'll hear from a few more. For now, though, let's agree that it's best that all of us should see ourselves as changemakers. We must all have a strong commitment to the Oakland University mission. We must all offer solutions. We must all lead by example. And we must all be passionate advocates for student success, for research, for community engagement, and for building a diverse, equitable, and inclusive campus community. We're gathering now a week after Thanksgiving, and there is so much for us to be thankful for. Let us give thanks that today we will always appreciate our health and the privilege to play a role in educating students and for serving our communities. As stewards of Oakland University, The decisions that we make, the strategies that we adopt, and the direction that we choose will determine the course of Oakland University for the upcoming year, for the remainder of the decade, and for well beyond. Today, the transitions that we face are distinguished by challenges that require us to be strategic, to be nimble, and to be responsive. So today I'll provide an overview of some of these challenges and our strategic actions that will give you a clear idea of our thinking and where we're heading. First, we face the challenge of being prepared to respond effectively to public health threats and maintaining a safe campus. The lesson of the past 2.5 years is clear. Pandemics and perhaps even endemics are increasingly likely. In response, we have a multi-level coordinated plan in place to maintain a healthy and safe campus that promotes the well-being of our entire community. We appreciate those who are leading by example. Special thanks to Cora and Anne for their tireless work and dedication during the pandemic. Thank you to Chief Mark Gordon and the OU Police Department for all that you do to keep us safe and your role in making Oakland University among the safest campuses in the country. And thank you to our Office of Legal Affairs, led by Boyd Farnham, for their outstanding counsel. You know, throughout the pandemic, I have been just so proud of our cabinet, of our deans, and along with our faculty, our facilities teams, and so many others for maintaining our classrooms and accessibility for an amazing Oakland education. Clearly, our success in navigating the pandemic is a reminder that for us to succeed in meeting challenges, both large and small, it really takes a team. And I just want to remind everyone that the flu and RSV seasons are here already. So I encourage everyone to get your flu shots, get your COVID boosters, and get any other immunizations and vaccinations for which you're eligible. Second, we face the challenge of making sure that we maintain a flexible and effective plan that focuses on student success, recruitment, retention, and graduation. In response to this challenge, we are refining the tactics in our strategic enrollment management plan. This is a highly collaborative and integrative approach with the goal of recruiting, retaining, and graduating students. And I am reminded by our Vice President of Enrollment, Dawn Aubrey, that retaining students is crucial to our success. Thank you, Dawn, for your outstanding work. And I want to thank every member of our SEM team, which is made up of members from around the university. So if you are a member of our SEM team, I want to ask you to rise now to be acknowledged. Please stand up if you're a member of the SEM team. Thank you. You know, SEM is not a quick fix. And as you're going to see in a moment, we're making progress toward our overall goals. But first, some context. Since 2012, you can see that enrollment has declined at most of Michigan's public universities. Currently, Oakland is the 6th largest university in Michigan, which is up from 8th 10 years ago. But as you'll also see, other universities like Central, Eastern, Saginaw Valley, and Ferris have had even greater decreases in enrollment. On this slide, you'll see Oakland's decline in enrollment since 2017. There are 3 primary reasons for the decline in our enrollment. First, the decreasing number of high school graduates in Michigan. Second, the impact of COVID-19. And third, a growing anti-college sentiment. Our SEM plan addresses the many challenges of recruiting and retaining college students. You'll notice that we are making progress toward our 2025 new freshmen, our 2025 new transfer student, and our 2025 adult student goals. With a renewed focus, we will also achieve our goals for new doctoral and new master's students. But you will also see that today we are not yet on track to hit those targets. Now, I'd like to update you on our university finances, as I do every year at this State of the University address. As many of you know, our revenue comes from 3 sources. This year, 74% of our revenue came from tuition, and 24% from state appropriations, with 2% coming from other sources. How do we spend our money? Well, 83% goes to compensation, that's salaries, and 17% goes for supplies, for services, and for other expenses. It's important to keep the budget and enrollment in perspective. From 2016 to 2022, enrollment declined 23%, but expenditures declined by only 4%. We're proud of the fact that we have been good stewards of our financial resources. Enrollment for fiscal year 2023 is down 7.2%. And the lower tuition revenue has created a $24 million budget shortfall. So here is how we're addressing the shortfall and balancing our budget. We're using a combination of tactics, including federal HERF reserve funds. We're applying our state appropriation dollars, and we are enacting strategic expenditure reductions. I want to now thank our interim vice president of finance and administration, Jim Hargett, and his exceptional team, along with our cabinet and all of our deans for their leadership and tireless work on these very difficult efforts. As Dominique explained, we have grown impressively as a university. And while we've had significant growth, some of our systems and processes have not kept up. But you know, we don't seek change for the sake of change, but we must change because we strive to be the best that we can be. You know, when I came here 5.5 years ago, I was aware of the Baldrige Performance Excellence process as a tool that can be used for continuous improvement. And I really wanted us to use this tool. But frankly, at that time, I didn't think that Oakland was really ready to undertake that process. But since then, we've become much more efficient, and we're improving in so many of our administrative processes. So today, I know that we're ready. And that's why, in August, we embarked on the Baldrige process led by our Chief of Staff, Josh Merchant, and facilitated by John Jasinski, who is an experienced Baldrige examiner and former university president. The Baldrige Performance Excellence process is a framework to facilitate continuous improvement throughout the university, including in the areas of leadership, strategy, workforce, and operations. And so far, more than 50 of you, people from across the entire university, are already involved in assessing our processes. So if you are one of those 50 people on the Baldrige teams, I'd like to invite you now to please stand. Please stand if you're on one of those Baldrige teams. Thank you. I want to thank you for your commitment to Oakland and for your honesty and dedication. And you too are indeed change makers. A few years ago, we began our process improvement journey with Reimagining OU. And this is an initiative to identify ways to improve the administration, our culture, and to create processes and proposals to position us best for the future. Reimagining OU created a lot of improvements in our administrative efficiency and developed a roadmap for campus-wide initiatives like our sustainability initiative, among other positive steps. Reimagining OU will now focus on strengthening our culture. And meanwhile, the Baldrige process will focus on building a continuous improvement mindset. In continuing Reimagining OU, we will build on the work of the Leadership Academy. And early next year, we'll assemble a diverse team of faculty and staff and students to explore ways to foster an even better campus culture. And now I'd like to invite those of you who have participated in the Leadership Academy to please stand so that we can acknowledge your role in the Leadership Academy. Please stand if you've been in the Leadership Academy. Thank you. Well, we still have challenges, and another challenge we face is being vigilant and strategic when there are opportunities for state funding. And in this very demanding area, I am proud to report that we are making significant progress. So there's some really good news here. As a result of our successful Strive for 45 campaign, Oakland received the highest percentage increase in funding of any of the state's 15 public universities. We received 12.5% increase in funding compared to the average of 3% of all of the other universities. And this is a very significant achievement for Oakland. The additional state funds are not only much appreciated, but they arrive at a very much needed time. With your support, we fought successfully for more funding for higher education. And as a result, several other public universities also received additional state support, and they benefited from our efforts. Our campaign is not only about seeking more funding, it's also about equity among the other 15 public universities and standing up for the values of higher education and defending our belief that higher education is at the heart of a democratic society, equal opportunity, and progress. And of course, our success would not be possible without the engagement of our trustees. And for that, we're really very appreciative. Our trustees have wisdom and knowledge of Lansing, and I want to acknowledge them, and let's give them a round of applause. In addition, I want you to know that Oakland has a $30 million science complex capital outlay project that is now before the state legislature. If we receive state funding, that would also require that we bond an additional $10 million to support the project. And I want to acknowledge our Vice President of Government Affairs, Rochelle Black and Bonnie Maluchnik, along with our Lansing lobby team, McCalvey Merchant, for their efforts both on the Strive for 45 project and on all of our Lansing projects. Let's give them a round of applause. A fourth challenge that we face is creating timely initiatives that integrate educational programs and degrees with the talent needs of the state's industries, service sectors, and small businesses. As our university becomes more and more of a talent pipeline, Oakland will become more and more of a catalyst for the region's and the state's economic growth. And my vision for Oakland is for the university to be known widely and preeminently as not only the university of choice, but as the workforce university of choice. So what does it mean to be known as the workforce university of choice? It means that Oakland is the university that students will choose as they go to a place where they get real-world experience and an affordable degree, a place where their investment in their education can be measured in a return by getting a good paying job, upward mobility, and a lifetime of rewards, including professional gratification, a broader range of opportunities, and a deep connection to a university that will always welcome them with open arms. Among the keys to our success is becoming a leading university for internships and experiential learning opportunities. And that's why this fall we established the Experiential Learning and Internship Council, which will coordinate experiential learning, internships, and service learning programs across our campus. The council's led by Wayne Thibodeau, Director of Career Services. I want to thank Wayne and council members for your passion, expertise, and leadership on what is one of our top priorities for Oakland. Contributing to Michigan's workforce is one of our top priorities, and Oakland is a leading university that's shaping Michigan's future at a time where Michigan is experiencing a serious brain drain. The brain drain is an overall talent issue caused by college graduates who are leaving Michigan, as reported by the Detroit News. And you can see that on this slide. Less than 50% of graduates at the state's largest universities remain in Michigan. But Oakland is leading the state university with 86.3% of our graduates remaining in Michigan. The Detroit News cites Oakland as the leading university in Michigan where graduates remain in the state. And this is a major feature of why OU graduates form the talent backbone of the Michigan economy. An innovative and timely way that we're addressing the workforce shortage, and specifically the shortage of healthcare workers, is an initiative that we call the BEST. The BEST stands for Transforming Healthcare by Elevating State-of-the-Art Teaching, Learning, and Practice. So at this point, I want you to think of the BEST as a proposal that is what we think about innovatively at what Oakland can be. And the BEST is based on the goal of elevating Oakland as a catalyst in addressing the healthcare needs of people in Southeast Michigan and beyond. Here on this slide, you can see some of the features of this unique proposal. We're working with legislators and our public and private sector to support Oakland as a leader in creating a healthcare professional pipeline. Our plan is to establish an interprofessional education center located at 1500 University Drive, the facility that we call OU West Campus. The building will provide much needed classroom space for health and human services related courses, a training center, and importantly, a clinic. Expanding these programs is a strategic response to the pressing need for healthcare and human services providers, particularly as our region rebounds now from the global pandemic. I believe that the BEST is an entrepreneurial and mission-driven example of how Oakland is an institutional change maker, just like we have individual change makers. I want to thank our provost, Britt Rios-Ellis, for her vision, along again with Vice President Rochelle Black. And speaking of the BEST, I'm so proud of Oakland's athletic teams. The men's soccer team, the women's softball team, women's golf team, and our swimming and diving teams all won championships in the past year, which is clearly impressive by any standard. You know, our student athletes are setting the bar so high on and off the field, in the pools, and most importantly of all, in the classroom. We are so proud and appreciate the hard work of all of our student athletes, the coaches, their trainers, and I want to give a special shout out to our athletic director, Steve Waterfield. They are so impressive. Now, another challenge that we face is building strategic alliances with corporate, philanthropic, industry, and community partners. You know, our future is inextricably linked to the communities and businesses in our region. And in the past year, we've strengthened our connection with Chorale Health, formerly known as BHSH, Beaumont Health, Spectrum Health. The newest chapter in this partnership has translated into an educational, economic, and health alliance that was highlighted by an amazing gift that we received, a $21 million gift. Our partnership will have a profound impact on improving the quality of nursing care and general health care in the region and beyond. I want to thank our provost, interim dean Suha Cridley, and former dean Judy Didion, and Mike Westfall, our vice president for advancement, for their leadership on this important Chorale gift. By the way, Mike is a fundraising force for the university. And because of his leadership, Oakland has recorded an unprecedented 5-year funding total in Oakland history. I'm very happy to share that now, at the midpoint of the current fiscal year, we are establishing a new annual fundraising record, surpassing $30 million for the first time in the university's history, thanks to a number of significant gifts, including this most recent gift that I mentioned of $21 million. And furthermore, we have raised $143 million in gifts and commitments toward the $150 million Aspire, Advance, Achieve campaign target. That's 95% of our goal, and that is 1.5 years before the campaign deadline of June 2024. I want to thank Mike and the entire advancement team for your long hours and the many ways that you show your incredible dedication to Oakland. Another significant way that we're demonstrating our connection and relevance to our communities is through research that's conducted by our exceptional, truly extraordinary faculty. And this past year, we've recorded the highest level of extramural research funding in Oakland University's history. This translates to a 200% increase in research funding between fiscal year 20 and fiscal year 22. In the next few months, we'll put the finishing touches on the nearly 50,000 square foot research building 4 miles south of our campus that will accommodate investigators from the School of Engineering and Computer Science. I want to thank our dedicated deans, our most exceptional faculty, and everyone who's been involved in important research. And I want to thank Dr. David Stone, our Vice President of Research, for your leadership. Thank you. And finally, we face the challenge of creating a deeper engagement with the communities in our region and enhancing relationships among all members of the Oakland University community. You know, this is an essential part of our obligation of what I like to call stewards of place. We're extremely proud of our partnership with the city of Pontiac. The OU Pontiac initiative continues to have an extremely positive impact on the city's education, healthcare, culture, economic development, and civic engagement. Our faculty, students, and staff are working now alongside more than 75 civic, business, and nonprofit groups. We are committed to the Pontiac community in what is truly a mutually beneficial partnership. In late October, we held the OU Pontiac Initiative Town Hall right here on campus. And I was just blown away. I was just so impressed with the collaborative nature and commitment that we have to the city's promising future. I want to thank the city's leadership, the people of Pontiac, Glenn McIntosh, our Senior Vice President of Student Affairs and Chief Diversity Officer, Teresa Rajas, Senior Director of Community Service, and also Jean Ann Miller, a truly unsung hero. I want to ask you to stand if you are a member of the OU Pontiac Initiative core team, if you're a pillar lead, or if you participate in one way or another in our engagement in Pontiac. Please stand. Another way we are serving as stewards of place is to foster greater community and civic engagement. And in this area, Professor Dave Dulio has been widely recognized for his leadership in advocating for civility and for supporting democracy through the OU Center for Civic Engagement. The center has held congressional debates, a timely discussion on the future of the Abraham Accords, an engaging conversation that was called After Roe, and along with UCM, supported one of the state's 2 gubernatorial debates on our campus. I want to thank Dave for his example of what engagement and making a difference really looks like. I also want to thank John Young, our Vice President of University Marketing and Communications, and his team for elevating the reputation of Oakland University. And by the way, in 2022, Oakland was named to the Washington Monthly list of best colleges for student voting. This is a distinction that's given to higher education institutions that get students to vote. Now, after we return from the holiday break in January, we'll gather for one of the university's hallmark events, Keeper of the Dream. The spirit of that day, the symbol of Martin Luther King Jr., and the ongoing struggle for civil and human rights must be in the forefront of our minds if we really are to be a model campus for diversity, equity, and inclusion. In August, the DEI annual report noted that underrepresented minorities and underrepresented groups were disproportionately impacted by the pandemic. And while the report measures our progress toward achieving our DEI goals, it's clear that we must recommit ourselves to improving our URM retention and graduation rates, while also doing significantly more to increase the percentage of our URM faculty and our URM staff at Oakland University. And I am personally committed to achieving these goals. We are all so appreciative of the hard work of those who are working for a much more diverse, equitable, and inclusive campus. I want to thank Glenn and his team, Omar Brownell and the Center for Multicultural Initiatives, the Gender and Sexuality Center, and the DEI Council. Each month, I have the wonderful opportunity, and I really look forward to this, to a meeting that I hold informally with a group of staff and faculty. And you know, we call these meetings conversations, and really, that's just what they are. They're conversations, and I talk with the staff and faculty about how things are going, both the positive and the negative. And one topic that has come up very often in the past 2.5 years is how the world has changed so dramatically, and people tell us how stressed they feel. Well, Amy Symington from the College of Arts and Sciences shared her perspective with me at one of those meetings, and it has really stayed with me. Amy said, "Many of us are exhausted after 2.5 years of the pandemic. Some of us are struggling, and all of us need to find ways to heal our community." She added, "We all need and want to feel connected." I want to thank Amy for sharing her thoughts so candidly with me, and I want to thank everyone who's participated and who will participate still, and I hope to see eventually all of you in those regular conversations. You know, I really do agree with Amy. We all need and want to feel more connected. Healing takes time. It takes understanding, and it takes a community of change makers. So let's listen to what a few more change makers have to say.
So over the last 2.5 years, but really even beyond the 2.5 years, I think the foremost purpose of my job on a daily basis is to keep our community living, working, and learning sort of safer, healthier. We're always looking for continuous improvements. And when the pandemic began and we were sort of struggling a little bit, it became clear that maybe we weren't going to be doing things the way we always had done them, and we might need to be a little innovative.
I feel that I'm a change maker because, again, I think, where are we now and how do we move forward together? And we can't do things because that's the way we've always done them. But I think really doing my best to support the staff within Graham Health Center and my colleagues and partners on campus who I would work with either together a lot or occasionally. And really looking outside that box to see how do we, again, partner with other people and what can we do together to get the job done.
I'm change maker because, first of all, I think that I work with my colleagues to make an impact to our community, to our students, and also to our faculty through actually grouping them together to target like large funding, also working closely with the industry on solving real-world problems. And also because I'm making with my colleague educational impact where we are serving the Generation Z and the gig economy through stackable certificate and beyond, but also I would be probably a change maker where I work with my colleague on mentoring them, not only mentoring students, but mentoring our colleagues through how we can work together, the team, to make a larger impact in research and education in general.
It's always looking for the generation of new knowledge, right? I mean, that's what we produce, scientists. We produce knowledge. That's our goal to try to understand deeply and to, with the idea to contribute to society. In my case, in this case with the stem cell biology and stem cell research, is try to understand how these cells work and how can we use them for multiple purposes.
I'm not a first-generation college student, but I'm the first generation in my family who was born food secure. And that is a huge thing for us. Education has been the thing that has propelled my family forward. So I saw a lot of what I grew up with, my values in the student population. So for me, coming here, it was about finding that right fit for what I thought education was supposed to be.
So some of the qualities and things that just really attracted me to Oakland University is the culture of the university and the people that I've met. Everyone was always engaging for my interviews. I remember sitting in offices and just having a great laugh and bonding with the different faculty and staff, and thought that it would just be an opportunity to just create a sense of community and family, which I just Coming from my background, my family just always loved and resonated with me. One of the biggest responsibilities of becoming a change maker, being a change maker, and what it takes is, I think, creativity. One of the things that I think that aren't really realized or reflected upon is there are challenges, there's just different strategies as well. And so in order to even just change your approach, you have to be creative on what are opportunities to make that change.
When I found out that the land acknowledgement was happening and I was contacted to be on the Native American Advisory Committee, I was like so happy to have kind of found my people and see that there are people like me around here. The fact that this committee is doing this work and making a place for Native American people to gather and practice their own landways and things like that is amazing.
Well, we are changemakers because we're inspired to be here, to improve Oakland University. I've learned over the last year or so, it takes a real collaboration from a lot of different groups and a lot of different parties to make real change.
I think that universities are able to bring out the best in change makers because they provide a forum that is safe to offer opposing viewpoints on things, have professional conversations about it in a way that is not demeaning or derogatory or offensive to anybody, but really works to unpack some of the tough questions that we have.
I'm here as a support for students. Our students come to us from a variety of different places with a multitude of challenges. And my job is to support them, to provide them with the counseling that they need at times, the empowerment at times, the discipline, the accountability. But ultimately, my objective is the same as theirs, to help them achieve an Oakland University degree.
I am a change maker. I'm a change maker because I am always thinking about how the campus community is going to move forward in the safest and healthiest way possible. And I want us to be able to focus on our core business here, which is educating students.
And looking at Oakland University's future and where we want to go, I think it's important for everyone in this room to be a change maker. Find that one thing where you can make a difference on campus, and we each have something that we can contribute. So I look at everyone in this room as a change maker.
So am I a change maker? Maybe I'm just that. I'm a link in a chain of change. And I would like to think that we're stronger when we're together. We're stronger when we're a chain than when we are a single link that is by itself. So I would like to invite others to just come and join that chain and be part of that link of change. That is, I think, what Oakland is trying to do right now.
Well, you've heard from many of the changemakers at Oakland, and there are just so many more out there, and each one of us can be a unique changemaker in our own way. So may each one of you be empowered to be a changemaker and to contribute to Oakland University, to helping us to be really a truly great university. I want to thank all of the amazing people who have been behind the scenes to help us to produce today's State of the University address. I want to thank the Oakland University Center staff, our AV team, video services, UCM, our incredibly talented events team, my wonderfully supportive staff in the President's office, and Frank Provenzano. Let's give each one of them a round of applause. Together, they really show what the meaning of teamwork is, and they are change makers too. And now it's my chance to cue the chorale.